Hey y'all, Noni here. Welcome back to my channel. You can call me Noni. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Today, I think yesterday I've been mentioning some new symptoms. I can't remember if I told you. I think I remember telling you that my leg went from 0 to 60 to where it was no tingling to just complete, the most intense tingling ever, right? And it was not a fun sensation, but it didn't last long. But I have noticed that the last few days since then, it is numb. Having numbness, it freaks me out, especially when that area itches. For some reason, that area itches a lot, and I accidentally hit the numb part, and it just is gives you the heebie-jeebies. So that's a new thing that hasn't gone away yet, so that's fun. I'm sorry. I did watch a little bit of Bridgerton last night, Bridgerton, but I fell asleep. So I'm not quite ready to talk about it yet because I haven't finished it. Of course, I haven't finished Your Honor either, but I definitely think you should watch it. If you don't want to hear spoilers, you should stop watching right now. But basically, Bryan Cranston, he's a judge, and I'll just call him the judge. His son, Adam, accidentally runs over this kid on a motorcycle. The kid on the motorcycle is the son of a very prominent mobster family in New Orleans. Now, forgive me if I'm being, I don't know what the word is, but making assumptions. But their last name is Baxter, so I don't really get it. Is Baxter an Italian name? I don't know. Anyway, but they live in a beautiful mansion, and of course they found out their son, his name is Rocco, was killed and left by the side of the road. Adam has, who is the judge's son who ran over Rocco, has really bad asthma, and so he got very upset seeing what happened to Rocco, because he went over to check on him, and he was, when he called 911, he was wheezing. He couldn't find his inhaler anywhere, and he was like that bad. He couldn't speak. All he could do was gasp for air. And finally, he just left because he couldn't speak. And I think he knew, if I stay here any longer and don't go get my inhaler at home, I'm going to die. Because he couldn't find it anywhere else. It had part of the reason that he ran over this poor kid is because he needed his inhaler. He dropped it on the floorboard of the car. And he was reaching down trying to get it, and he couldn't get it. And so he took his eyes off the road for a minute, which we've all done, which of course is wrong. And he ran over this poor kid, Rocco, who had just gotten the motorcycle that day from his dad. And it's very, very, very sad. But anyway, so of course the dad and the mom are very, very vengeful and upset, and they want to know who, they consider it murder, who murdered their son. Some people are in their ear saying that maybe it was a hit. which isn't good at all because then that changes the whole game, right? Um, but anyway, the judge, his Adam's mom died a year before in a robbery, I think at a convenience store. She was shot, and they never found who, did it. So the judge, finding out who exactly his son ran over, knows that this is the Baxter family and that his son will not survive. His son will be murdered. So he's trying to save his son. And he's pulling a lot of strings. He's trying to have the car. What he did was, on the next day, because his son drives his dead mom's car. On the next day, which I think was October 10th, I think Rocco died on the 9th, and it was October 10th. The judge got in touch with a gentleman he knows that's running for election for something, and he was like, I need you to make this car disappear. And he didn't really say why. He just was like, I need it to happen. So the guy was like, okay, no problem. So he calls the guy who's right under the chief of police, and he basically promises him the chief of police role if he gets this thing done for him. So what the chief of police does then is he has connections with I guess it's a mob or a gang. I guess it's a gang. It's a black gang run by Desire. And I believe Desire is a woman, but she is an older woman. And so she has all these younger gentlemen working for her. And one of, I don't know his name, Little Mo, is kind of running the show on the streets. And he gets this guy, this cute little guy. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Kofi Jones, I think is his name. Kofi Jones, Kofi. And he's like, hey, go steal this car. The keys will be on the left driver's side wheelbase, like the tire. So Kofi Jones goes and steals the car. And in the meantime, the judge had called one of his, oh God, what was her name? She was a detective, or she is a detective. And I think her name is Natalie. I don't remember her last name. He kind of called her and said, hey, this happened. Basically trying to plant the idea that, well, Adam couldn't possibly have run this kid over. It must have been the person that stole the car. So he told her, yeah, he stole the car and blah, blah, blah. And, well, it turns out she was involved. She was the cop that worked on the murder of his wife that is still unsolved. And so when he brought the car thing to her, he kind of thought she would just be like, oh, yeah, no big deal. We'll just, he kind of thought she'd blow it off. But she was like, no, I'm going to find this guy that did this, and I'm going to take him down. And so the judge is like, oh, fuck. So eventually, so she puts an APB out on this car. A cop finds him, pulls him over. The scene where he's pulled over is really so well acted, and it makes you really understand what the point of view is from a black person when they get pulled over. Because Kofi was absolutely terrified. He was absolutely terrified. He got pulled over and he like kind of moved to the back seat, and the whole time he's sticking both of his hands out like this, like so they can make sure the whole time they see both of his hands. And then they're like, get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car. And he goes to open the car door like you would from the inside. And they're like, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. And so he's like, oh shit, okay. And so we showed him their hands, his hands. And they were like, open the car door from the outside. And so he did. And they took him to jail. So then, of course, Bryan Cranston, the judge, finds out and he's like, oh shit, this is getting worse. So, Baxter learns of, so the dad and the mom learn of this situation where there was a kid that was driving a car that had a piece of Rocco's motorcycle underneath the car. And they found it. And so now, of course, the Baxters know, okay, Kofi Jones killed my son. And so, apparently the Baxters have one son in prison already. I can't remember his name. Oh my God, I can't remember his name, but he's very cute. Shoot. Anyway, the mom is a badass in this show because she's like, she goes to the jail and she's like talking to the judge and the other people in the room. And she's like, I just want my son at my other son's funeral. It's, it's our way. We're Italian and I just need him there, please. And then she offers up in private to the judge, she offers a donation that doesn't come with any strings. She's like, if you let so-and-so come, that's great. And if not, use it for the church, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Big Brother ends up getting to come to the funeral, and he's like coming in this big old bus and all that. Okay. So the plan is, so what she does is she goes up to him during the funeral to the brother that's incarcerated because he's got two guards standing next to him and he's far away from the funeral. And she's like, let me, hug my boy. He's my boy. And they're like, no, like, we're going to have to leave. And Mr. Baxter is like, you all have mothers. You all have mothers. You know how this is. Just let her hug her son. So she hugs her son and she whispers something in his ear. And of course, I'm sure, for me, I instantly knew it was like, if you get a chance, kill this motherfucker. But I wasn't sure if they were in the same jail. Well, it turns out that she arranged to have him. Normally, he was in the jail in Angola. Because remember, this all takes place in New Orleans. Now, I didn't think there was a big, Italian mob scene in New Orleans. But I don't know. So, he ends up in the same jail as Kofi. And, Kofi has a whole team because he didn't, during the trial, he took the plea. Little Mo, the guy that runs the gang, told him, your mama and your siblings are all going to be taken care of, but you've got to take the hit on this one. You can't talk. Basically, snitches get stitches and all that. So Kofi's like, okay, shit. So he takes the plea and he's waiting for sentencing. Well, in the meantime, Big Brother Baxter, after the funeral, gets sent to the same prison that Kofi's in. And at the end of the day, basically, Kofi has Kofi has this pro bono attorney. Her name is Lee, and she used to be the clerk for the judge. She's absolutely gorgeous. And her and the judge are kind of getting it on, if you know what I mean. And in secret, because I think he doesn't want to hurt his son, and it's because it's only been a year, all that. So anyway, she figured out a way to get him released in the morning, okay? And but before the morning can come, there's a lot of jail, what's the word I'm looking for? Jail shenanigans, right? Like guys taking money from the Baxters or from the gangs to do whatever the gangs want them to do. So anyway, somebody paid a lot of money for Big Brother Baxter to end up in the same jail as Kofi. And at the end of the day, a guard comes and gets Kofi, and he's like, come with me. And Kofi's like, what's up? And he's like, just come with me. And he was supposed to be released the very next morning. That's what's so frustrating about this. But he walks down, the guard opens this door to this very dark hallway, and then he shuts the door. And Kofi walks down this very long hallway, very dark. And at the very end of the hallway, which is very long, there's a door open, and inside is Big Brother Baxter. And he is doing his mother's bidding. He's been told by his mother, kill this son of a bitch that killed my son. Which he didn't really kill him, like it was an accident, But he did leave him there, but he did also try to call the cops. Like, he really did try to do his best, but he couldn't speak. He had an asthma attack. But I'm thinking, go home, get your breathing, and then call the cops. But also, he's 17. So, anyway. So, Big Brother Baxter takes care of business, and as you would guess, Kofi is murdered. And the mom basically has been waiting on, Mama Baxter has been waiting on Papa Baxter to, let's go. We got to show these fuckers, we're boss, and they're not going to just run over our son. Like, this is bullshit. And he's like, we got to take our time on this. And she's like, no. So he was he went to see Big Brother Baxter. He was mad at him because he's like, you had 2 days left to serve on your sentence in Angola, and then you go and do this. Well, the warden of the prison that Kofi was at was like, listen, as far as I'm concerned, this never happened. Your son just needs to go back to Angola and serve whatever time he has left there, which is 2 days. So then, I hate this reflection. I'm so sorry, but only if I do this, it looks weird. So he ends up getting out, Big Brother Baxter, and then they have Kofi Kofi has a younger, no. Rocco, the one that got ran over, has a younger sister. Not much, though. They're all teens. And she's, very rebellious. She talks to her mom about not believing in God. And, of course, they're heavily Catholic and all of this. And Baxter's out now. And what happened? What in the world happened? Shoot, why can't I remember? Interesting. I'm drawing a blank. Well, anyway, I can always tell you later because I've still got much more to watch because it's now building to a crescendo. Basically, they find out that, Mama decides, Mama's telling the dad, like, you haven't done shit. You haven't done enough. You need to send a message to these people, the gang members, that this is not cool. And again, they're basing all of that on the fact that this is a hit. So they get in a fight at this restaurant, and Papa Baxter's like, okay, bitch, you want me to do something? I'm going to do something. So all you see is the second oldest. So there was Kofi, then his other brother. I do not know what his name is. So and I don't know the people's last names, so I'm just going to call him Little Brother Kofi. And then there's three other siblings that are much younger, and then his mom. So Little Brother Kofi is on his way back from buying some groceries or whatever, and he walks up and he watches his parents live in a trailer, his mom, and he just watches the whole thing explode with the babies and the mama inside. So his whole family is dead. So then you see, the dad's out on the balcony of their beautiful mansion. It's so beautiful. And the mom comes out and she's like, and she's giving him a hug like she's proud of him. And because he's like, you want to see something? I'll show you something. Well, now Desire, the one who runs the street gang, is like, no. This is going to be a war. We're going to war. And so she then tells, she goes and she has a meeting with Mr. Baxter. And she says, listen, Kofi was arrested on October 10th. Okay? Rocco died on October 9th. So you tell me how on October 10th he's in jail already and has been, everything has happened that quickly. She puts some doubt in his mind where he's like, well, that doesn't make sense, So he goes to his contacts, which are in the jail, and he's like, I need you to get over here and explain to me what's going on. He's like, what did you find at Kofi's house? What evidence did you find that he ran over my son and killed him? And he's like, he had some weed and stuff. And he's like, I'm not talking about what you planted. I am talking about what real evidence did you find at the place where my son was killed. And it turns out, bottom line, it was nothing. He didn't find anything. And there is a lot more, actually. So I will give you more tomorrow. I'm very tired. I'm having a lot of fatigue. What's new? But it's probably because I've been taking horrible care of myself. I've been like doing all the bad things that one should not do when one has a chronic illness. So, but I have a little bit of my Frangelico left, so I'm going to go finish that up. And I am, like, tomorrow, of course, I'm done with drinking because I'll finish everything tonight. So that's kind of my first goal. I'm just going to do one goal at a time. Like, I want, like, I want to go, like I said, I want to go 90 days without drinking. And then, of course, make a video every day. So at least I did that. I got that done. I am going to color my hair tomorrow. Well, first thing I have to do is go and get the right color because I got this violet stuff. And I always used to go plum. And I think in there you can see a little bit of plum. Maybe. But I feel like going coppery, like a real red. I don't know. I don't know if it'll look good or not. If it doesn't, I'll slap a purple violet-y thing on there and it'll be fine. Like, dumping color on your hair isn't a problem. It's when you're lighting your hair. So anyway, I'll do that and then I will show you the results. I might show you me doing my hair because it's a process. It's such a process. Oh my God. My hair is too long and lifting my arms up for any length of time, even just to hold this phone up, is painful, which is one of the reasons that I have to go. Which is why I need that sticky mirror phony thing. But anyway, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, okay? I hope you have a wonderful evening and a beautiful evening, okay? Talk to you later.